Oh, Bubbles, I can't decide on a font for our website. There's so many options. You know, Bubbles, with that attitude, we're just gonna use Helvetica.
What is up, everyone, and welcome to Hello World Episode 5 using Google Fonts. Just like in every episode, we are implementing a new feature into our Hello World website. So if there's something you want to see implemented and coded up, leave a comment down below. Now, let's get into the episode. So we're going to pull up our current Hello World website here. This is where we've gotten to so far over the past few episodes. What we're going to do in this episode is implement Google Fonts so that we're not stuck with the default browser fonts here on our Earth title and our Hello World button. At the end of this episode, our web page will go from this to this. Do you see the difference? Font is the difference. We selected and applied a Google font to our page, so now we don't have the default web browser font. We have our font that we found on Google. And we're going to begin by selecting Google Font over from the Google Fonts. So if we just search for Google Fonts, you'll see right here, the very first link is Google Fonts. We're going to click on that, and here's where we can search for fonts. You can come in here, you can search for fonts. You can start typing something here to see what it looks like. So we'll do Hello World. You can change the font size of it like this, and if you keep scrolling down, you can see all the different fonts they have listed here. And the font we're going to be using for our Hello World website is called Space Grotesque. There it is, the first one. So when you click on a font, it'll bring you even to a more detailed page for that font, where you can get a more overview of what that font looks like. So here we have the light, the regular, the medium, semi-bold, and the bold. And then some text down here to even give you a better overview of what your font will look like. Now, once we've selected our font, we're going to go ahead and click Download Family up here. This will download a zip folder of your font. We're going to open up our downloaded font family file, and we're going to go into the static folder. Here we have all of the files for each of the different font types that it listed on that page. We have our bold, light, medium, regular, and our semi-bold. Then we're going to go into our www Hello World folder, and we're going to place our fonts in our app assets. We're going to create a folder here called fonts. And in this folder, we're going to create a folder with the name for our font, Space Grotesque. And this makes it easy if we want to download new fonts in the future. Just come in here and create another folder for whatever font family you download. We're going to open our folder, and we're going to place all the font files right in here. Now that we have our 5 font files included in our project, we can write a font face in CSS for each of them. We're going to go ahead and open up our project in our code editor, and we're going to be updating the styles for our global template. That way these font faces will be included on every page, from our home page to any new pages we create going forward in the future. So under our CSS, templates, default styles. And at the very top here is where we're going to create our font faces, one for each file. To do that, we do a font dash face. Then we have our font family and our source, which is a URL. Now the font family can be whatever you want, but it's going to be the name that we will use to apply that font family to other styles throughout the website. Start with our regular font family here. And I said you can name it whatever you want, but I like to name it whatever the font file is named. Because now going forward, all we have to do is apply this to, for example, the body, and now our whole body will be the regular font. But before it will apply, we have to actually specify the URL to that font file. You have the option here to put in the full URL to the file, HTTPS, all the way to your file, the .ttf, or you can do a relative path. I like to stick with relative paths. That way, no matter what server we put this code on, it'll always find the font file. So we're going to backslash, backslash 3 times. That will get us up to our assets folder. And we're going to go into the fonts folder inside of our assets folder, into our Space Grotesque folder. And in that folder, we have our regular font.ttf. And that is the basics for creating a font face. Then anywhere we place this font family, it'll use this font file right here, the regular.ttf file. So we're going to copy and paste this 4 more times, one for each of the other files. We have our bold, our light, our medium, and our semi-bold. Now all of those 5 files have a corresponding font face, and we are free to use these font families now anywhere throughout our site. On our body tag, we placed our font family Space Grotesque-regular, so now the whole body should be regular font. If we go back to our localhost / hello world and refresh our page, our Earth and our Hello World button changed font families. Just zoomed in here a little bit, and you can see here our body has our font family Space Grotesque - regular, just like we specified in the code. And if I uncheck this, it'll be just like we never included that font family, exactly how it was before this video. So we know our font family is working. You can even go a step further and edit this, and we could check out how the bold looks. So we'll say bold, and that's how the body would look if we were setting all the text to bold. We're going to go one step further and apply a different font family to our H1 tag. This is a title. We're going to make that bold. And we're also going to give this font family bold to our default button. Now the buttons and the titles, they'll just pop a little more. So if we refresh our page, you'll see that the Earth text got bold and so did the button. Let's inspect these here. H1 tag, there's our font family bold. Now if we uncheck this, it should default back to our body, which is the regular font family. And then on our Hello World button as well, our font family bold got applied there as well. And unchecking that will also default back to the body's font family. And that is how you implement Google Fonts into your website. You go to Google Fonts, you find the font you want, download the font family, throw it in your repository, and then create a CSS font face for each of those font files. Give those font faces a font family name, and you can use them throughout your website. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. More importantly, I hope you learned something. Hit that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and let me know what you want to see coded up next. I'll catch you later.